he attended the roadshow in KL, and then he asked, "Can we bring this to Melaka?" And so we said, "Okay, you guys can make it happen." So we talked about it, and he's the guy who got the people to sponsor the hall. Okay, and so on. And so with great pleasure, I want to invite Melvin.
Thank you so much for all of you still been here for the past few hours. Thank you. Now, I was not supposed to speak, but I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning. Couldn't sleep, thinking about this. Yes, I said I have to say something to my adopted brothers from Melaka. Now, I'm supposed to speak on, this is my home. I care. I want to make it better. This is my home. But for the last couple of years, I wondered, is this really my home? I've been called a pendatang from the chap from Penang. He says if you're not happy, go back to China. I asked, why China? Why not Mongolia? I know my grandfather came from China in the early 20th century. But I suppose my great-great-grandfather may have come from Mongolia. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm proud of my roots, that my grandfather came from China. But my father was born in this country in Kuala Lumpur. I was born in this country. And by right, if you call the definition of Bhumi Putra as sons of the soil, yes, I am a son of the soil. Now, to make matters worse, not just calling me as a pendatang, the reporter, Tan Hun Ching, who reported that speech, was arrested and put under ISA. And later, Teresa Fong was arrested as well for allegedly writing a letter to the Imam of a mosque to ask them to tone down the call to Azan. She denied it, but she was arrested anyway, just because someone made a police report. Next, Raja Petra was arrested. Yes, Raja RPK, we call him. Writes very provocative articles. But were those reasons enough to arrest him under the ISA? We were told later that reporter Tan was arrested for her own safety. For that, we have to thank our very, very caring government. And also our very concerned former Home Minister. What do we do without them to take care of our safety? Well, locking us up in a jail is the safest place there can be, actually. Now, next came the cowhead incident. And then I was told, I cannot use the A word, followed by incidences at the churches, in the schools, in the surrounds, the Turbing Hot, the Coogan case. Now, this was getting a bit too much. I wondered whether my children will have any future in this country. It was the lowest period that I've ever felt. Now, up till 1969, I was very confident that the government and the country loved me. But after 1969, I felt that the government has stopped loving me. But what about my country? Lately, the past last 2 years, I felt that my country is also deserting me. And I was at the verge of actually going somewhere else to search for a country which will love me in return. But something happened. On the 23rd of January, at the Kuala Lumpur Chinese Assembly Hall, I heard the distinct voice of my country. She said, "Melvin, please give me a chance. I still love you." There and then, I felt that I'm falling in love with my country all over again. And it's thank you to this Anak Bangsa Malaysians here that got me having this feeling for my country again. Now even the chap who told everyone in Melaka that we are descendants from prostitutes didn't affect me anymore. I know he is not the voice of my country. He is just an imposter. These people here, saya anak bangsa Malaysia, is the real voice of this country. Now, I care for my country again. And by the very fact you guys are here, I know you and every one of you care for this country. Now, how can we make this place a better place for all of us? The Saya Anak Bangsa Malaysia group is going round the country, giving forums like this, informing everybody. That is their contribution. And they are informing the right of all our rights and obligations as citizens of this country. Yes, besides rights, we have obligations as citizens. Now, what are these obligations? I will just give you 3, but there are many more. Firstly, we are actually obliged to inform all our relatives, friends, and acquaintances that all Malaysians have equal rights. As Professor Asmi Sharma said, and although there are certain privileges according to the Malays and the natives of Sarawak and Sabah under Article 153, but that same place says that we are all equal. 2, we are obliged to recognize and see in every citizen in these countries, see them as Malaysians, although we each have our own unique culture, customs, and religions. 3, we are obliged to register as voters and cast our votes and select the government we want. In conclusion, remember this: we are all of one race, the human race. Thank you.